But our top story of the day, not a happy one, takes us out to San Francisco, where yet another freight tech company is slashing its workforce. Grace Sharkey, my fifth favorite person in the entire world, is with us today. Let's just call it top five. What's going on, Grace? How are you?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday Eve, right? That's the mood we're
Right on.
today.
Happy Friday. Grace is doing better than some of the folks at Baton today, for sure. Baton, the latest company in the freight tech space to say, you know what, we can't do it right now. We're cutting some of our workforce, slashing 25% of their people right now. So Grace, what can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the story? Why are they choosing to do this?
Yeah, so a big piece of this is over the past 6 months or so, we actually wrote an article, take it back a little bit, about a couple of months ago, almost a month ago, not even a couple months, where Baton was explaining that they're now releasing this really great software that's going to allow them and their customers to schedule trucks better, be able to create their own relay system so that when they're coming into big cities like Los Angeles, where their relay network is based right now, let's say a large trucking company comes in, they only need to deliver so far into the city, avoiding a lot of the time wasted when you're having to deliver at different warehouses within Los Angeles, or if you're going to ports, etc. So what ended up happening is they're starting to sell this ability and this capacity network as well within their relay system. A number of leaders were just focused on purchasing the software. I mean, for them, they want to have that full operational handle and not have to outsource that to a different company. And for Baton as well, it's easier for them to focus on what they do best, and it's that SaaS product. They all have that Silicon Valley background. So it's almost one of those situations where focus on what is actually making a difference, is actually bringing value to your customers. And that was the actual SaaS product that they're building. And going into these times, right, you're going to be really focused on the people that are truly bringing you value and what's bringing you value to your company and to your investors in the long run as well. And then the interesting thing about Baton is their investors are very strategic. I mean, you have global shippers, you have Ryder a part of this, you have people that are really really want this software to become a product so that it can improve their own operations and their own truck scheduling as well. So unfortunately, they had to make the choice to cut off the operational piece of their business. And that includes the about 11 drivers that worked within their network as well. And now they're just going to be focused on this one core product that would be sold to shippers that have their own assets, or large carriers as well. So I'd say it's a mix of the times that we're seeing and the economy that we're seeing, right? Because every tech company who's raised money is going to have to really watch their runway and make sure that they're focused on actually bringing true value and profit, right, to their company. And also a strategic move to bring to the table what the company does best, and that's the SaaS product.
Yeah, it seems like a refocusing of energies that personally I thought probably would have happened anyways. It just maybe was a little bit faster because of the times that are happening right now. Because I never really understood why they were going. I love what those guys are doing. I'm a huge fan of Baton. I think it's really smart, and it sets them up really nicely for a lot of other tech that is coming down. They're kind of in that sweet spot right there. And grabbing assets just didn't seem like the right thing to do for them. In my opinion, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, although I play one on TV. Yeah, so it seemed like one of those things that was a smart move anyways, and it was just exacerbated by these times. Is that how you see it?
100%. I felt the same way too when I found out that they started investing in the asset side. Do what you're strong at, do what you're good at, and at the end of the day, it's that SaaS product, that artificial intelligence product, that's going to be the game changer to any fleet that ends up investing into it. And I will say, I talking to the individuals that were let go, more than positive things to say about the experience. A number of them weren't completely in their vested period yet, but yet still Andrew and Nate made sure that they left with that equity taken care of. So they really did take care of the individuals they had to let go, and rave reviews on them as employees. So if anyone sees those employees out there, I would highly suggest reaching out to them for future positions as well.
That's a really good point that you bring up, Grace, especially in this time where you see a lot of these companies who have really top tier talent who just happen to be in part of the pieces that are getting laid off, right? And it can often be kind of like, first off, shocking to be like, oh my God, I'm part of these layoffs. But then if you've got a company that really cares about you, then they do that. Then they will provide a good word of rec for you. Then they help you get your equity out of the time that you spent in the company. Did Andrew and Nate kind of say anything about how that kind of looks to the broader aspect of these people who are facing these layoffs? Like, are they setting the good example by taking care of these employees? And do you think that that's a trend that we can see continue to be set by these other companies who are facing layoffs too?
I think that it depends on the financial position that a lot of these companies are going to be in, and the amount of people that are let go, right? In this situation, it is 25% of their workforce, but their workforce in office was only about 20 to 25 people. So you're not talking about, and that's including contractors as well. So you're not talking about letting go over 20, 30 people for your company, which I think makes it a little bit easier for them to make those choices and make sure that they're left okay. And a lot of these individuals have great backgrounds in this industry as well. And now just left, at some level of this, and the experience that I had in the past is you do leave these companies with a mass amount of startup and entrepreneurial knowledge now behind you. So what's interesting is I think a lot of these employees are probably left with some life lessons that you don't get to experience in the classroom, that's for sure.
Yeah. This seems like, this is one of those stories. It sucks for the people that were laid off, right? That's the bad part of the story. But as far as Baton is concerned, it actually strengthens them as a company and refocuses their energy into what is going to be their profitable future and pathway to glory and fame, right?
Yeah, they even mentioned, they not at this point in time. Clearly, I think everyone wants to see where the market's going, but brought up the fact that they're still interested in investment in the future. They're still going to be looking to hire more of these product engineers instead of these operational, more of trucking company type of roles. So it's not that they're completely off the table. It's just steering in a better direction.
Yeah.
Grace, continuing on with the thread talking about companies and the relay strategy, tell us a little bit about this article you just wrote about a company who just made a big raise.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic because it is lightly kind of the same situation, same idea, same kind of strategy, but implemented in a different way. So RollC is a trucking company who is focused on taking the relay aspect, the problems that relay helps solve when it comes to making a driver's day a little less stressful, a little bit more habitual, and making sure that they're home on time, and implementing it into a single lane strategy. So what this company does is they're headquartered over in Seattle. They drive up and down Interstate 5. They got a number of trucks that are either sitting on this lane or are constantly moving on this lane. And their strategy is, we're going to do the relay, but we're going to do it one lane at a time, make sure that we build up the drivers to do these handoffs at certain areas, at certain distribution centers, and go about it that way. It's kind of interesting, especially to think about, the fact that you can drop a trailer. Now you have an extra truck available at any moment in time. It's easier for you to route. You're really building a trucking company that's focused on just shorter distance lanes for its carriers. And I think that single lane focus is an interesting way to start it. And they're soon hoping to push that single lane into another lane, which would be along Interstate 10, with hopes of wrapping up into, I think, taking like 85 up into Atlanta as well. So it's an interesting one for sure. They've just raised $8 million from a number of their customers already, strategic investors, family, and friends as well, and just taking a different approach to a relay system. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting that both of those stories coming out this week, different ways to kind of look at solving the problem for drivers and retaining and attracting more drivers to this industry.
Very interesting stuff. Two very similar services, but different tech. Yeah, I like it. It's very interesting to do that. I think you'll be able to attract more drivers that way. Thank you so much, Grace. Check out Grace's stuff on freightways.com and great quarter gals and Road Dog Radio and
all of the above.
All of the above. I think she's flying to the moon. I think she's going to be like the first woman on the lunar surface in 2024 or something like that.
And you know what? We're going to put her on Great Quarter Gals when that happens.
There you go.
Yes, I'll be there. I volunteer for that one. Yeah.
Awesome, Grace. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Right now, I'm going to toss it over to Tony Mulvey and Donnie Gilbert for our first carrier check of the day.